Hey Insomniacs, it's Ed, the curator of the Insomniac Drive-In. How are you? It's good to talk to you again. It's been a while since we've been here on our YouTube channel, and I apologize for that. We're going to try to fix that starting today. We've been experimenting with some Facebook Live and some Twitter Live, and that's been fun, but I've really neglected this page. So we are going to have some fun. I got a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to hopefully do on this page, some reviews, and I'm going to show you my DVDs and my Blu-rays. I've been watching a lot of videos of people sharing their collections, and I've been enjoying them a lot. So I figured, hey, why not get in on the game and share mine as well? Little background about myself. I grew up in the late 70s, early 80s. Huge monster kid. I watched Creature Double Feature out of WLVI. It kind of piggybacked over onto our early cables system here in upstate New York, and WWOR, the Thanksgiving holiday weekend marathons with the King Kongs on Thanksgiving Day, and then three Godzilla films on that Friday. So it was a great time to be a monster kid. I love the old monsters, Universal and Hammer, Toho. But I also love the 80s stuff because, then I was getting into the video stores as a kid, as a young teen, and getting all the splatter films and discovering Michael Myers and Jason Voorhees and all these Evil Dead, all these other great films. So I have a great background. I love horror, sci-fi, grindhouse, 70s and 80s comedies, kung fu movies, you name it. I try to have a place for some of it into my collection. So I thought we'd start with, a pile today, and maybe next week, next Sunday, we'll try to do these weekly until we run through my the collection, and then we'll do some reviews, and I'll try to do some other new stuff along the way if you guys are all enjoying this. If you are, please give it a thumbs up, this video, and then also subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our other videos. And there's that little bell thing. Click that. That way you won't miss any of the notifications. So, my DVD Blu-ray collection is in alphabetical order, or I'm trying to. It's not quite there yet. I have a ways to go. I'm still organizing. I don't have cool shelves or anything like I'm seeing in so many of these great videos. This one guy had it look like a video store in his extra room, which was just amazing. I don't think I'll quite get to that point, but I do hope to have some nice shelves at some point. And when I do have that, I will definitely share them with you. So right now I have them in bins and boxes, and I have there's like a drawer thing that's built into the wall, and I have a lot of them in there. So I'm still alphabetizing everything. So if we do some A's today, and then we move on down the line, and I do find some more A's, I will get them back into the rotation and share them with you. So let's see what we're going to start out with. We're going to start out with the numbers, because I always put those before the letters for some reason. I don't know why. But we got up first is a two-feature film in the year 2889 and Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet. I watched these two not too long ago. In the year 2889 was about a retired Navy captain and his daughter who survive a nuclear war, and then they kind of get some other people coming in and out of their lives. There's a famous mask in that movie that I saw in all the old famous Monsters magazines, and it was nice to finally see the movie with that. Voyage to the Prehistoric Planet, gosh. That was cobbled together by a Roger Corman flick, and he made another film out of that called Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women, and they were both cobbled together from pieces of another Russian film, just with some added pictures or added scenes from some other actors. It's an okay movie, nothing spectacular, but it was both of these were featured on Creature Double Feature when I was growing up, so I added them to my collection. Then we got another two movie double feature. We have Ship of Fools, which stars Vivian Leigh and Simone Signoret and Joe Fiera. I don't have my reading glasses on, so you're going to have to bear with me throughout this. And the second feature is Lilith. Now, Ship of Fools I haven't had a chance to watch yet, but I did watch Lilith not too long ago, and that stars Warren Beatty and Gene Sebring, Peter Fonda, Kim Hunter. It's just an amazing cast, and it was a great movie. You should definitely try to track down Lilith if you haven't seen that. Lilith is a patient at a mental institution, and Warren Beatty's character has just come back from Vietnam, and he wants to get trained to be a occupational therapist there. And of course, he falls in love with Lilith. But is it all part of her little web? You have to see the movie to find it. It's a good one, and I do look forward to watching Ship of Fools. I checked out the quality of the Blu-ray, and it is a beautiful, crisp picture, and it looks like a really good story. They're all at sea on on this boat. And I don't remember much of it because I kind of only skimmed over it, and they're all kind of a bunch of circumstances that come together. So, looking forward to watching that at some point. This one I have in the Blu-ray player right now. I'm hoping to watch it at maybe tonight or some other point this week, the rest of this weekend or the beginning of next week. I haven't seen either of these films. Mr. Sardonicus was a big. I used to be part of Yahoo groups, and there was a group called The New Horror of It All. And Mr. Sardonicus, the owner of the list, it was his favorite movie, and he talked about it every chance he could get. So I finally have the Blu-ray of it, and I watched a little tiny bit of it, and it's another really nice copy. Brotherhood of Satan, starring Strother Martin, L.G. Jones, and Aina Capri. I haven't heard of any of them, so I can't really tell you much about that one yet. The Blu-ray box has 2 blood-curdling classics in high definition. William Castle, of course, does Mr. Sardonicus. I love William Castle's stuff anyway, so I'm really looking forward to checking that out. I just watched this one not too long ago, the last of our 2 movie double features that was put out by Columbia Pictures that I have. When a Stranger Calls, which stars Charles Durning and Carol Kane. Great movie. Check the children. Have you checked the children? It's such an eerie scene in the movie, and Carol Kane, of course, is also in Transylvania 65000 and Taxi, and just a lot of other good stuff. And Happy Birthday to Me is, God, it's one of my favorite slasher films. It was one of the first ones I saw when I was a kid. This and The Funhouse were 2 of my biggest early slasher teen horror movies that I got into. But this is great class: Melissa Sue Anderson, Glenn Ford. How did they get Glenn Ford to be in this? Who knows? Lawrence Dane, Sharon Acker, Frances Hyland, Tracy Brigman. 2 of the characters in Happy Birthday to Me, of course, were also in Meatballs, so it was really nice to see them reunited. I think this was filmed right after Meatballs. So this is a great Blu-ray. Great copy of Happy Birthday to Me. Great transfer. Then I have from the MGM Movie Collection. It's a 4 horror movie set with some more of my favorite films on it. You have Return of the Living Dead with Linnea Quigley. What a great film! And that's when you started to get the zombies that moved faster and talked, and they're like, "Send more paramedics!" Brains from the tar baby that comes out of the tar man who comes out of the well, which is out of the drum. Great film. Also, Swamp Thing. I love superhero films. I'm a superhero kid from 75 onward. I've been reading comics, and Swamp Thing is another great one. I love the fight at the end when they're transformed into the other monsters, and that was just pretty scary when I was a kid. Bucket of Blood, which stars, oh God, I can't see his name on here. But he's been in a ton of stuff. He's been in Gremlins, and viewers out there, my mind has gone blank. Put it in the comments below. Tell me who stars in A Bucket of Blood. This is our first video. I'll remember to have my reading glasses the next time we do this one. And then Frogs is, I saw this, gosh, when I was a teenager on some Saturday. It wasn't Creature Double Feature, but it was another Saturday afternoon kind of feature. And it stars Joan Van Ark from Knots Landing and Sam Elliott. And all these frogs are causing all kinds of havoc on this island. They're monster frogs, so that's another good one. I'm a huge Saturday morning. I loved cartoons on Saturday mornings when I was a kid, so of course I have tried to recollect some of the stuff that I loved as a kid. And these are really good budget packs of Saturday morning cartoons. Hanna-Barbera, I can't get enough of this stuff. And this just has a little bit of everything. Space Ghost is on here, Adam Ant, Quick Draw McGraw, all kinds of cool. The Herculoids, I think, are on here, and it's very deceiving. It says 4 kid favorites. No, it's more than that. There's probably about 20 or 30 different cartoons over. Is it 2 discs? Yeah, it's 2 discs. Yep, 2 discs, and they're very cool looking too, the discs. But this is a great 60s collection of Hanna-Barbera. And then we have the 70s one. There's more volumes of these, but these are the only 2 that I have right now. Josie and the Pussycats is on here. The New Adventures of Batman, Hong Kong Phooey, Yogi Bear, plus, oh gosh, what else is on here? The Jetsons, Yogi's Gang, Tarzan, Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch. If you were a 70s kid growing up, these were the cartoons that you watched, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to have this in your collection. I've started to show my daughter a lot of these, and she has a lot of fun watching them with me as well. Speaking of my daughter, she has gotten me into a lot of she loves Legos, and yes, this is actually hers, but it's in my pile because I want to watch it too. It's the Lego Justice League cartoons, and they are hilarious. There's 4 of them on here, and they're just a lot of fun to watch. There's a lot of comedy, but there's also a lot of in-jokes to the comic books, which is fun. I got this one not too long ago. It's a 4 sci-fi movie marathon with Arena, Eliminators, America 3000, and The Time Guardian. I haven't seen any of these. I may have seen them when I was a teenager, and I don't quite remember, but I love post-apocalyptic movies of the 80s, and these are just it's all over it. I've seen the trailers for all of them, and I love all of them, and this is going to be a lot of fun to sit down some night and just watch all of them. You have a favorite from here? Put it in the comments. Speaking of post-apocalyptic movies, 5, which is a good one. It was director Arch Ubler shot this in his own home. And it's the dramatic talents of William Phillips, who was an executive suite, and James Anderson, who was in To Kill a Mockingbird. This is a nuclear bomb destroys the world, and these, I think, are the last 5 survivors. And they're going through the love and the tribulations and trying to figure out how they are going to restart the world with only 1 woman, I believe. Only 1 woman and 4 other guys. What's going to happen there? Plus, they have, what's really cool, they have atomic drink recipes on here, and they had like some kind of atomic martini or something. So that was really cool that that kind of stuff comes as an extra bonus. 5 Girls. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. It's kind of a lower budget demon possession movie, and it's a lot of fun. It's Ron Perlman. He's in it, so anything with Ron Perlman in it is just a lot of fun. A coworker of mine let me borrow her copy of this years ago, and I held on to it for a while, and I loved it, and I watched it. I've watched it a few times since then. I finally got my own copy of it. 5 Girls. You should check that one out. Okay. Next up, we have The Fifth Wave, which stars Chloe Grace Moretz, who is a breath of fresh air in this horror world of the last probably 10 years. She has been in so many good things. Let Me In, the Carrie remake, which I enjoyed. And of course, she's dipped her toes into the sci-fi world with The Fifth Wave. This one, I've seen most of this film, and I've enjoyed it. So don't tell me how it ends, because I'm looking forward to watching the end of it. I have a lot of movies, and I fall asleep a lot because we have a 6-year-old, and she keeps us running nonstop, and sometimes her bedtime doesn't quite go the way that we're hoping that it will, and that's okay, because she has some special needs, and we got to take care of her first. So by the time I sometimes get to a movie at night, I will start it, and I usually don't finish it, but I always get back to them at some point. I told you before that I'm a big fan of 80s comedies. 9 to 5. Oh my gosh, this movie is so funny. Lily Tomlin, Dolly Parton is in it. Dabney Coleman, Jane Fonda. It's just a great. It's a snapshot of the 80s, and the stuff that they put Dabney Coleman through in this movie is just hilarious. Another great 80s film. I love cheap movie collections because there's usually like 10 or 15 movies on there. They're not always going to be good, but sometimes you can get one or two that might be good. This one is the Pretty Dead 10 horror film set. On the back, they have The Lake on Clinton Road. I'm trying to remember what on here I have seen. What else is on here? The Sacred, Bunny Man, The Lights, Backwater, Monsters in the Woods, Pelt. I've heard some stuff about that one. Sparrow, Pretty Dead, and Occupied. I believe I watched The Lake on Clinton Road, and I enjoyed it. I believe a bunch of friends are there for the weekend, and some weird stuff starts happening, and it all, it's a horror movie, so things aren't going to end well. But it's a cheap set. I haven't heard of really any of the other stuff on here besides Pelt. So there's a lot of stuff on there. Here's another 10 movie set, and this one has some of my. I think these are a lot of Roger Corman films. Maybe not. You might, maybe one or two of them are. But this has a couple of them on here that I really enjoy. 10 horror movies over 13 hours of horror films. You have a version of The Pit and the Pendulum. It's not the version with Vincent Price, though. So maybe this isn't any Roger Corman. My Sweet Killer. I'm not quite sure what that is. Two of my favorite vampire films, Subspecies and Bloodstone Subspecies 2. I think the vampire in that is creepy looking, but he also reminds me of Morbius, the living vampire from the Spider-Man comics, so that's a good thing. Lurking Fear, Followed Home, The Vampire Journals. I watched that one. That one wasn't too bad. Butchered, Final Remains, and Meridian, which is a very strange... I don't even know how to explain that one. I think he's a werewolf or he's some kind of demon, and he's stalking. I don't remember her name. Jeffrey Combs is in it though, so anytime you have Jeffrey Combs in a movie, that you can't go bad. Then 12 Monkeys, the movie, not the television series. I tried watching the television series on Sci-Fi, and I had a tough time getting into it, but I did enjoy the movie. Bruce Willis and Brad Pitt are in this, and Madeline Stowe was in this, I think, too. The Blu-ray has a lot of extras. There's commentaries and other tales of the 12 Monkeys and archives, so there's probably a lot of cool stuff on here. Yeah, Madeline Stowe, she's right there on the cover. Yeah, I can read. So that's a good sci-fi flick. Oh, we have more cheap movie packs. This one is the 12 movie Fright Fest with over 17 hours of guaranteed nightmares. The guaranteed nightmares might be just that some of these movies are scary that they were made. Devil in the Flesh 1 and 2 are on here. Diary of a Serial Killer, The Evil Behind You. Fear, not the one with Reese Witherspoon. Ice Cream Man, Clint Howard. Anytime you have a Clint Howard movie on a movie pack, it's not a bad thing. He's been like in everything, which is cool. Jack Frost 2, The Killing Grounds, Nana, The Night Feeders, The Other Side, and Within the Rock. There's a lot of ones on here I've wanted to watch. So there's 17 hours of films on that one. Oh boy, we're getting almost to the end of this video. We have, this one is the 20 film horror set, volume 1. I've never actually found a volume 2. If there is another volume out there, maybe you can tell me what's on that one. This has stuff like Past the Door of Darkness, Inside, Mortuary. Now you gotta watch that one. Live Animals, that one I didn't really like. Bloody Mary, Night Shadow, Cursed. Is that the one with Christina Ricci? It is. That's a good one. That's a good werewolf one. I like that one a lot. Cruel World, which was not that good. The Haunting of Marston Manor, that was okay. Darkness, Anna Paquin, which I like that film a lot. The Bachelor Party in the Bungalow of the Damned. With a name like that, you know you at least got to check it out for a little bit. And that was another vampire one, which is very interesting. Fist of the Vampire. So you got vampire with not only coming at you with their fangs, they're coming at you with their fists. And Gingerbread Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver. There's also Howling 4, the original Nightmare. I thought that was boring. I'm sorry if you're a fan of that franchise. I love the first one, and the second one's not bad. But after that, I don't do too much more. Paranormal Entity, which kind of tries to cash in on the whole paranormal activity craze. Those are good. This one, not so good. And then it's got 4 series of ghost stories. They're like an hour or 45 minutes each. Following the Dead, Walking with the Dead, Conversations with the Dead, Unmasking the Dead, and another movie called The Nurse. So there's that pack. And our last one, I forgot to mention spaghetti westerns. I do like spaghetti westerns. And this is a 20 movie Western pack, and I see a lot of Lee Van Cleef on here, so you know that it's going to be a good set. There's Massacre Time, Blood Money, some Dollars for Django, Kid Vengeance, Sartana in the Valley of Death, Sundance Cassidy, and Butch the Kid. They kind of reversed that there. The Bounty Killer, Little Rita, Death Rides a Horse, Buddy Goes West, Wanted, Light the Fuse, Sartana is Coming, Sartana Killed Them All, Life is Tough, Providence, Price of Power, Grand Duel, Holy Water Joe, which I want to see that one, Buffalo Bill, Hero of the West, Dig Your Grave, Sabata is Coming, and God's Gun. I found this one at a Kmart of all places for like, I don't know, $7 or $8. So that's the first round of our DVD Blu-ray collection here at the Insomniac Drive-In. I love collecting movies. I probably have more movies than I have actually watched, but you know what? That's okay. I'm going to get to them as time goes on and just have a lot of fun. So I hope you liked this video. That's a look at our collection. We're going to do this again next week. I'll try to get another pile together to share with you. We'll probably get into the letter A's at least. Maybe the B's. We'll see. I don't know how many A's there I got. But it's going to be fun, and I enjoyed talking about some of these, and I will have my reading classes next time so we can look at them better. You know, you get older and you just start forgetting things, and I forgot my glasses. So until next week, I'll be seeing you. Thanks for taking the drive-in wherever you are. Oh, let me tell you where else you can find us. You can find us on Facebook at the Insomniac Drive-In, and you can also find us on Twitter at InsomniacDI, and I just started doing Instagram finally about a month ago, and I will put the links for all of those things in the description of this video. So now I'm officially done. So I will see you all next week or sooner, depending on whatever else I can get together. But thanks for taking the drive-in with you wherever you are. We'll see you soon.